Hello enthusiasts and welcome to Scaled Affairs, the show where I try to rationalize my purchases while trying to fight buyer's remorse by presenting you a review of various anime figures. So be my guest and welcome today's figure on the turntable. Nendoroid number 2272, Kurumi aka Walnut from Lycoris Recoil. She comes to you in a box that reflects the design of the previous two Nendos from the series in front. The other sides have a bright yellow color that should match Kurumi's hairstyle and overall appearance. It's quite appealing for the eye, even with the hastily applied "Sell Outside Japan Only" sticker that is a bit crooked. Inside the box, the tiny hacker girl is embedded into a standard plastic blister with a top cover. As you can see already from this small preview, there aren't many extra parts included and therefore the blister looks, well, let's say very organized. On the back side there is a base plate and the mounting crane in a pouch attached with adhesive tape. If you remember, Lycoris Recoil was a popular anime from 2 years ago and it totally made sense to have the two mains, Chisato and Takina, as matching Nendos. Especially figure companies love this couple setup since it usually means they can sell twice the figures. A bit more surprisingly was the announcement of a third character last year, but since I already invested so much time and effort into my custom Nendo scale Lycorico Cafe, pre-ordering her was a no-brainer. Sadly, there was a hiccup with the initial pre-order and therefore her arrival took a bit longer than expected. But now Miss Walnut is here and we can take a closer look at some of her specs as well as all the extra parts she comes with. For a figure that is wearing basic clothes, I honestly think she turned out really well. Especially her hairstyle is quite ornate for a Nendo. In order to achieve the combed back hair and the high forehead, the main part almost covers the entire head and only the ribbon and the molded strains are the front facing part. The advantage of this is that you don't immediately see the iconic Nendo gap of the hairline where the two parts that hold the faceplate come together. Of course, with almost all long-haired Nendos, mounting hair can be a bit tricky and Kurumi's head movement when mounted is also limited. Her body part is this oversized sweatshirt with a hamster print on it. Even if the mostly white surface is unforgiving when it comes to paint defects or dust deposits. Together with a couple extra arms you can reenact certain poses for the character, but I think this casual hoodie might also look great on other Nendos as well. Therefore one could argue that this is one extra large accessory, and given that there is almost nothing else that accompanies Kurumi, this is some fine copium in my opinion. I mean, yeah, there is also this VR headset that for a modern Nendo accessory is quite large, but I don't know if this is something that can be used frequently in other scenarios. The set can be disassembled into two parts so that you can wrap it around Kurumi's head, and if you do so it changes the mood of her third faceplate from a somewhat angry or distressed grin into a more smug or cheerful one. It's crazy how the expression can change if you cover up the eyes of a character. The headset unit also looks and feels a bit cheap with all the glossy finish and lack of details on the inside. It's a fine gimmick, but I don't think most buyers will ever use it for display since her bright blue eyes are definitely a highlight of the character design. The standard face is this, I guess resting bitch face describes it pretty well. The first alternative is the aforementioned grin, and the second option is one with an open mouth, mainly for the food items. And yes, this is plural, because if you ordered her directly from Good Smile Company or received it somehow else, there was a pre-order bonus in form of a dango skewer included that not only fits her appetite but also is, as all food items are, very versatile. Same goes for the watermelon slice that looks quite cartoonish and is surprisingly hard to clip into Kurumi's hand. The last noteworthy extra part is this leg, and I don't know, but every time I see it I have to chuckle a bit. Must be this strange little T part that sticks out of it. First I thought this is part of some elaborate mounting mechanism, when in reality it's simply a spare plug that I guess makes it easier to grab or handle it. I had plenty of Nendos that came with extra legs and none of them had a separate plug that covers up the ball joint hole when detached from the figure, but maybe this is something Good Smile does now for some reason. All things considered, this is a solid little figure. For fans of the series, I'm sure it's nice to have others than the main characters to play with, and for people who like to bash their Nendos together for dioramas or photos, Kurumi can be a versatile versatile parts donor with all the casual stuff she comes with. Also, her inclusion, as well as the new waitress uniforms for Chisato and Takina, can give a fan hope that maybe someday the rest of the Lycoris staff members will be realized as Nandos as well. Next time! Well, actually there will be no next episode. If you see this on the internet, I'm very close to leaving this place and also this format behind. Things got pretty sloppy anyway the last couple episodes, because most of my equipment is by now either broken down, sold off, or filthy as hell. And I guess this is the good part of this ending. Next year I will install a brand new studio somewhere else, and in there I will have plenty more options for video content. So don't worry if you don't hear from me for a while, but Scale the Fairs and Moe University will be back right here on this channel. In the meantime, take care out there and keep having fun collecting.